You met against former President Uhuru Kenyatta during the campaign period.
Campaigning was campaigning. You know, my brother, Dennis, when you are campaigning, there are no rules. You know, campaigning is not a church affair. It's not a wedding. It's rough. And there's nothing personal, really. We're just looking for leadership. And the things that were said then are dropped immediately the election is over. You don't bother about them. Because when you are looking for votes, you come up with all sorts of issues against your opponents. And really there is nothing personal. Once the elections are over, you move on. Just like you have seen, even Uhuru Kenyatta himself, things that he said against Raila Odinga, then they came and patched up and they worked together. Look at William Ruto. He called Raila all sorts of names, you know, Muganga, Nini, Kitendawili. Today they are calling each other brothers. When people are campaigning and they use words here and there against each other, it's part of the game, and there is nothing really personal.
Yeah. You say President William Ruto lied to you during the campaign period, and many Kenyans ask the question, are you not your own man to stand on what you believe in, to give direction as Rigathi Gachagua and not one Rigathi Gachagua who can be influenced by another politician?
I was not duped alone. All of us were duped. He was voted in by 7.2 million votes. I was just one of them. What about the other 7.1999? They were all duped. So it cannot just be Rigathi Gachagua who was duped alone. It was very many of us. And that is why many of us, plus others, are looking for an opportunity to have a remedy to that situation, that we were duped, we were conned, and we need to correct that situation, again through the vote. Now we are wiser, we know better. You know, they say, you know, you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. That con game by William Ruto is over. You know, Kenyans are wise. You know, they know, they see, they hear, and they all know that they were conned. And why probably I take a very active role in correcting this mess we are in is because I played an even greater role in putting the country in this mess we are in, because I really campaigned for the guy. I was all over convincing people, talking to them, using proverbs, using slogans, using all kinds of figurative language, describing him in very amiable terms, giving a lot of hope to the people of Kenya. And I persuaded very many, and I feel I have a greater responsibility to remedy the damage that I caused this country and to right what is wrong. And just the way I persuaded people that this was the right guy, since now I know differently and many Kenyans know differently, I have an equal greater responsibility to be very active and be very aggressive, even much more than I was at time, to correct the situation and send the guy home and come up with better leadership.
As you talk about sending the guy home, President William Ruto threw the phrases that you've coined one term. And with that then comes the united opposition that is pushing towards this agenda. But one would ask the question, just how united is the opposition? When the united opposition was starting, we saw the likes of Jubilee being part of the bandwagon. Today, we're seeing breaks and cracks. Just how united is the united opposition?
There are no cracks in the opposition. There may be a little differences among leaders in the way they look at things. But those leaders are not the opposition. The opposition to William Ruto are the people of Kenya. And they are united to a man. To a man. The one-term movement is real across the country, from the coast region, northern Kenya, Rift Valley, central Kenya, upper and lower eastern, Nyanza, western, here in Nairobi. The one-term movement is unstoppable, and the people of Kenya are united in purpose. We, the leaders, are just a reflection of the people, but we are not the people. We are not the opposition. The opposition are the people of Kenya. And what we are doing as leaders is just providing leadership, because when people want to go somewhere, they need somebody to lead the way. But the people know where they want to go. They know what they want to do. And they are united in purpose. And believe you me, if any leader moves from the one-term movement, that leader becomes obsolete. That's the end of his or her political career. I want to assure you. And I don't think any leader can make that mistake. Because what you do when you are a practical politician, like myself, I listen to the people. Even the years preceding to 2022, I listened to the people. I told President Uhuru Kenyatta. It was my great buddy. I said, Mr. President, listening to the people, this rider project they don't want. Please don't force them. They will disappoint you and they will embarrass you. And he shrugged it off. He didn't think it is true. He still believed he had instruments of state that he could persuade people to do things differently. I went back a second and a third time, and then I gave up, and then we differed. But I told him the truth, what people are saying. My brother, I am one Kenyan leader who never deviates from where the people are. I always align with the people, and that is why I've never lost an election. Anybody I've ever supported has won, because I take my time to listen to the people. I've listened to the people and they have made a decision. I've heard William Ruto complaining that we are only talking about one term. Indeed, it's not about we should talk about one term throughout. It's the people who are forcing us. They don't want to listen to anything else. The other day I was in Nyandarua, in a place called Meharati. People have gone to meet before, and before that they asked me to talk about potatoes, the storage facilities, roads, water, schools. The last time I was there, I tried to talk about water, about schools, about potatoes. They are not interested. They say, tell us about one term. So I want to tell William Ruto, why we are unable to talk about anything else in public meetings is because the people don't want to discuss anything else. They want to discuss one term. They are impatient. They want this guy to go like yesterday because he's the cause of all their problems. People are struggling. SHA is not working. The education system has collapsed. Children are at home. Roads have not been repaired. There is no money in circulation. Bribery is taking place in State House when they can see. They feel stifled. They feel occupied. And they want to be free. So they are talking about one term. So when I came up with this one term slogan, many people ask me, where did you come with this slogan? I was just summarizing what the people are saying. You know, I listen to the people. And God has gifted me with figurative language as a student of literature. I listen to what people of Kenya are saying, and I needed to capture what the people of Kenya are saying and what they want in one word. Because, you know, in the figurative language, people don't want too many words in matters communication. People want to describe a difficult situation or a solution in one single word. So I thought about it, and listening to the people of Kenya across the country, the mood in the country, what the people want. Then I came up with the slogan of one term. It has spread like bushfire. It is discussed everywhere, in bars, in churches, in matatus, in Uber, in salons, in barbershop. And I just listened to the people and captured their feelings, their aspirations, and what they want in one word.
One word. You talk about one term, but at the time when Kenyans went to the streets to complain about the ills the government is putting on them, and one word was kufa dereva, kufa makanga. And when you talk about one term, Kenyans have insisted that it is the entire crew of politicians to go home and we reset the status of the country. How would you respond to Kenyans